Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a powerful message: bloom where you are planted. Maybe you're in a job you don't love, a school program that feels overwhelming, or a season of life that feels uncertain. We all face moments where we wonder, why am I here? But what if instead of resisting, we embraced what we are feeling, or as a good friend often says, just stay in the moment? Blooming where you are planted doesn't mean settling. It means growing right where you are. Today, I'll share 7 key tips that will help you thrive, no matter your circumstances. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, embrace change instead of fighting it. Change is uncomfortable, but it's also necessary for growth. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet, he didn't let his circumstances define him. Instead, he managed change with wisdom, and in time, he was elevated to a position of influence in Egypt. Lesson: whether you're facing job shifts, unexpected life events, or even personal transitions, don't resist change. Lean into it. Growth comes when we allow ourselves to adapt. Application: instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" Every situation is preparing you for something greater. Tip number 2, look for opportunities in every situation. Opportunities don't always come with flashing signs. Sometimes they're hidden in the everyday moments. Lesson: the key is to train your eyes to see them. Maybe your workplace isn't ideal, but is there a skill you can develop? Maybe school feels frustrating, but is there a networking opportunity you've overlooked? Application: start seeing challenges as stepping stones. Every setback is a setup for something greater. Keep a journal of small wins and hidden opportunities in your daily life. Tip number 3, trust your God-given talents. God doesn't place us somewhere without equipping us. You already have gifts and talents within you that are meant to flourish, even in tough situations. Lesson: remember Moses? He doubted himself, but God reminded him that everything he needed was already in his hand. Application: identify your strengths and lean into them. If you're in a job you dislike, ask, "What skills can I sharpen here?" If you're in a class that seems pointless, ask, "How can I use this knowledge later?" Trust that God has placed gifts inside you for a reason. Tip number 4, stretch yourself. Growth requires discomfort. You can't grow without a little discomfort. If you're always in a space that feels easy, you're not stretching yourself. Lesson: like a plant needs pruning to grow stronger, we need challenges to develop resilience. Application: take on tasks that scare you. Volunteer for projects. Start that side hustle. Write that book. Speak up in meetings. Ask questions in class. Be like Nike and just do it. In short, stretching yourself now builds the confidence you'll need later. Tip number 5, take action, one foot in front of the other. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when looking at the big picture. But big goals are achieved through small, consistent steps. Lesson: David didn't become king overnight. First, he was a shepherd. Then he faced Goliath. Each step prepared him for the next. Application: break your challenges into smaller, manageable tasks. Instead of stressing over your entire career path, focus on excelling in today's responsibilities. Tip number 6, build strong relationships. You're not meant to grow alone. No tree flourishes alone. It thrives because of the ecosystem around it. The same is true for you. Lesson: seek out mentors, friends, and people who will uplift you. The right people will challenge and inspire you to be better. Application: take inventory of your circle. Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? If needed, start surrounding yourself with those who encourage and challenge you. Tip number 7, keep faith. Trust that God has a plan. Even when things don't make sense, trust that God is working behind the scenes. Lesson: Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Application: when you feel stuck, remind yourself, God sees the full picture even when I can't. Hold on to faith, stay consistent, and know that where you are now is not where you'll always be. My final thoughts that I'll leave you with today are as follows. Life is full of seasons, some exciting, some frustrating. But no matter where you are, you can bloom. It's not about waiting for perfect conditions. It's about making the most of this moment. Which tip stood out to you the most? Drop it in the comments. If this message encouraged you, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more weekly inspiration. Until next time, keep growing, keep thriving, and remember, you were made to bloom. See you next week for tips on how to overcome procrastination.